The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is lining up to be one of the strongest smartphones of 26, and a key reason behind that is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 processor. Snapdragon Silicon is already recognized for its leading performance, but the addition inside the Galaxy S26 Ultra is tipped to be the absolute finest of the series. Sources indicate that Samsung's flagship will arrive with a specially optimized version clocked at 4.74 GHz. For perspective, the standard Elite Gen 2 runs at 4.61 GHz. That might not appear to be a massive leap, but in practical benchmarks, it creates a noticeable gap. The S26 Ultra's processor supposedly hits 4,000 in single-core performance results, while the ordinary chip reaches 3,900. That extra bump might not look impressive on paper, but for tech fans who want the quickest experience possible, every fragment of additional speed matters. This is why the Galaxy S26 Ultra is being framed as the handset that lets you experience Snapdragon at its absolute peak. Other companies may install the same processor, but Samsung's calibration gives it a small advantage that helps the Ultra stand apart. Admittedly, it's possible another brand could tune the chip slightly higher in their own models, but for now, it doesn't seem anyone will surpass what Samsung has produced. Still, with top-tier power comes a small compromise. A processor running at greater clock frequencies can draw more power, and that could influence battery longevity. Samsung is retaining the same 5,000 mAh battery it has offered for several generations now, including the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's a reliable capacity, but Apple appears to be moving in the opposite path. With the iPhone 17 Pro, Apple is actually expanding the cell compared to last year, which could result in longer screen-on duration for iPhone buyers. So while the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to bring phenomenal performance, some people might find it doesn't endure as long on a charge as they'd prefer, especially during intensive usage. This ties into another compelling aspect of the narrative: Samsung's persistent struggle with its own Exynos processors. For years, Samsung has aimed to cut its dependence on Qualcomm by employing in-house Exynos chips in more of its catalog. The intention was for the Galaxy S25 line to launch with the Exynos 2500, but that plan collapsed. The processor wasn't prepared in time and instead appeared first with the Galaxy Z Flip 7. Moving forward, Samsung has been developing the Exynos 2600, a 2nm chip originally meant to power the Galaxy S26 family. However, judging by numerous reports, it appears the company may not have perfected it yet. That's why the S26 Ultra is predicted to arrive with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 for Galaxy instead. There remains a slim possibility Samsung could use a split approach in various regions, just as it has done previously. That would translate to Snapdragon in certain markets and Exynos in others. Initial whispers hinted at this scenario, but so far the leaks imply Snapdragon will dominate the S26 range, especially the Ultra. So, what does all of this signify for you as a consumer? If raw performance is your number one priority, the Galaxy S26 Ultra looks like the ultimate contender. You're receiving the best edition of Qualcomm's most sophisticated chip paired with Samsung's elite hardware. The aesthetics, camera system, and display are all expected to extend the boundaries of what a modern handset can achieve, but it's really the processor that makes this phone distinctive. Naturally, whether or not it's worth upgrading depends on what you currently own. Some buyers are already preparing to grab it on launch day, while others are satisfied holding on to their devices. In fact, surveys indicate that about half of users are adopting a wait-and-see mindset, choosing to delay until real-world reviews confirm whether the S26 Ultra truly meets its promises. If you're chasing raw performance, flawless speed, and state-of-the-art components, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is the device to keep an eye on. Whether it takes the crown as the best smartphone of 26 will hinge on how well it balances power with efficiency. But one thing remains certain: subscribe to the channel.